Good afternoon. Am I on? Hello? 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 Yeah, I'm on. Hello? Mike? Hello? Do you think I'm on?
Yeah, it's just not very loud.
Hey, everybody. We're here now. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. There we go. Hello. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to number 2, Coffee with Carlsen. We're super happy that folks were able to join us today. The weather's held, so that's been great. My name's Deborah Boughton, if you don't know me by now. I mean, eventually I'm going to stop doing this, but I guess I should keep introducing myself. Really want to offer our support of thanks to Northwestern Medicine for continuing to sponsor this event. We've got some super special giveaways that are coming up soon. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag, but keep showing up, and I promise we'll have some more giveaways in addition to what's back there. But potentially a new coffee mug. I just gave it away. A new coffee mug is coming out for Coffee with Carlsen, and if it doesn't come, if it's not ready by the time Ralph leaves, we'll make sure we'll send one to you. No, they haven't been ordered yet. And again, thanks again to Bill McMahon for supporting this event. It's been 7 or 8 years since he's been doing this, so we do appreciate his support and making sure that we can host this and have great food. And I heard the potato soup. We might have to go back. It looks like it's out, and I haven't had any yet, so would appreciate that as well. Really exciting right now, and in NIU athletics. If you're keeping up with what we're doing in the fall, it's really been a great fall for us. Obviously, our men's soccer team has won the tournament and the regular season championship. We're also going to host a NCAA men's soccer game on Thursday night at 6 o'clock. So bring your blankets and everything and parka. So please come out and join us. It's $10 for adults, $5 for kids and students. We're going to play Oakland if we win that. When we win that game, the second round is actually at University of Pittsburgh. So that's all set. So please come out and enjoy that. Football, obviously, really doing yeoman's work on their end of it. We have 2 games left, 1 home, 1 away. We have a Alumni Association is hosting a watch party tomorrow night, and my friend T. Anderson, sitting there, is co-hosting a party with me, a watch party at Fatty's. So if anyone needs something to do, somewhere to watch the game, please come join us. We'll be in the back room at Fatty's. There is lots of giveaways, probably some logoed golf balls, probably some courtside seats for your friends, a slew of other NIU athletics items, and what's that thing I said? I told you. Pellet grill. There's a pellet grill. $400 value pellet grill being raffled off at the watch party. So come enjoy Fatty's. I think that'll be a great time. Volleyball, you may have noticed they had a great weekend this past weekend, won 2 games against Buffalo, and they qualified for the MAC tournament as well. So that is going to be November 21st and to the 23rd at Ball State. So if you want to go to Indiana next weekend, right after you watch men's soccer, feel free to get on the road and do that. And then just one other item or date I want you to put on your calendars, which we've talked about. It's December 1st, and that's when we're finally going to welcome men's basketball back to the Convocation Center. They'll be tipping at 7 o'clock. They play Eastern Illinois. I know that Rashawn will be very happy to have to be back home, and is looking forward to seeing you all in the stands. So I know there's a lot of crossover fans out there, so we'll enjoy that. Okay, so here's the time I get to introduce Coach Carlsen. Hold on. So had a great road trip this past weekend. Those are always super fun to go on and kind of experience every bit of the basketball program. And we really couldn't lead the program without Coach Carlsen. Obviously, he's our head coach, but really puts a lot of effort into not only our student athletes and the product on the floor, but also just every bit of their lives, and also continuing to engage with you all in the community. So I'm super happy to have Coach Carlsen as our head women's basketball coach. She's going to tell you about the past couple games. Coach.
Thank you, Deborah. I would also like to I always like to open up and thank the other head coaches that are here. We're going to get a chance to hear from our golf coach, Kim. Eric's going to talk about women's tennis. Sud is always here in full support, and so I really appreciate them being here. Before we get started talking about the first couple games of the season, we did have the opportunity to go through early signing, and we did sign one young lady out of Glenbrook North. Her name is Brooke Blumenfeld. We kind of laughed because we talked to Brooke about how we're going to call Brooke or Brooke not Brooke, and how that's going to be because both of them are called Brooke all the time. They don't really have nicknames. And if you know me, the players will make fun of me because a lot of them I don't call by their entire first name. But Brooke happens to be Brooke. She's been Brooke since she's been here. And when I've talked to Brooke Blumenfeld in the recruiting process, she's always been Brooke. So this will be interesting to see that how it shakes out. I'm not a big fan of Cookie. I'm not a big fan of Brookie. But we'll see. But Brooke is a 6-foot forward, like I mentioned, out of Glenbrook North. You know, she was somebody as a sophomore that led their league in scoring at about 15 a game, 7 boards, and was really an exceptional player at that time. Then COVID at the same time as a knee injury, which is a double whammy. But I'm really excited about her progress. She's back to playing full. But seeing her go through that just kind of reiterates how important character is to the people that we bring to our program. I mean, she's handled it like a champ. Again, her rehab, she's been super diligent, back on the court, and all of us anticipate that her senior season this year will be really good. So we're excited that Brooke will be joining us next year. Another thing in the last couple weeks that came out, which, you know, coach talk is always that you don't put a ton of stock into preseason rankings and those things, but I always do find it interesting. The preseason MAC picks came out, and we were picked 7th in the league. And those of us in the locker room think that we will be better than 7th, which I'm sure is what most of the coaches would say that aren't picked first. Ohio's picked to win it, which I understand. They return CeCe Hooks, who is arguably the best player in the league. They have a couple of other potential all-conference kids. So Ohio was picked to win it. But there's a lot of parity in the league this year. And I say that most years from top to bottom there's great parity. But I think this year in particular, and maybe part of it is Central Michigan has really been kind of a thorn in a lot of teams' sides the last few years. They've won the league. They've gone on to the NCAA tournament. They've had draftable players, and they've been super talented. And not that they're not talented, but they're going through a little bit of a rebuild right now with some faces. I know that Coach Oshaleo put a great team together, but because Central maybe isn't going to be quite as dominant, I think that leaves the door open for a lot of other teams. You know, Bowling Green won the league last year. They return a lot of the young talent that they had. They've had some unfortunate, significant injuries early in the season. So again, I think that opens up the door for a lot of other players. So I only say we're 7th just as an informational piece. We will definitely use it from a motivational standpoint. Shelby was picked as an all-MAC preseason performer, which is, again, no surprise to any of us who have seen Shelby play. You know, I would argue that she's a first-team All-MAC, so should be a first-team All-MAC selection. She's on the second team, so again, I suppose that goes with the 7th place finish, and we'll see how things all shake out. I do get to talk a little bit of basketball, which is great. You know, we had the opportunity to kick off the season against Illinois State at home a week and a half ago, or however long that's been. You know, Illinois State, again, especially in the last few years, has been one of those programs that we're kind of chasing. You know, they've consistently gotten themselves to postseason. They've had some really good runs in the Valley. And to see them come into the Convocation Center and see the result is really exciting for this ball club of ours. You know, it was a lot of people have asked me after that game, what was the thing that stood out the most? And I think when I went back and looked at the film and talked more about it with my staff, you know, our defensive effort for 40 minutes was really good against a really good offensive team. The third quarter was obviously my favorite. You know, we come out of the locker room, third quarter where we go 23-10 that quarter, and it really kind of sealed the game. But I think defensively, and many people haven't thought of us as a defensive team, I think our defensive intensity and discipline was really good against Illinois State. We had 5 players in double figures. Again, anytime you can spread the wealth, that's a recipe for success as well. Shelby did lead us with 19, and again, a very quiet 19. She was super efficient. In the first half, when we needed a couple buckets, Shelby got us a couple buckets. And then in the second half, I thought she orchestrated the offense really, really well, distributed the basketball. I think she ended up being like 7 for 9 from the field. So that's why I say quiet. Asia had a monster game, especially on the glass, ended up with 15 points and 15 boards, which she made it seem really simple. But I think having her back on the floor after missing a couple of our exhibition and close scrimmage games just showed how critical she is to our success in being able to play inside out. So I was really happy with her. We did limit them to 60 points. So again, that's kind of a tribute, again, like I mentioned, to our defensive effort. Another fun stat, again, those of you who know basketball and definitely who saw it, we took 8 charges as a team. And those are such critical possessions. I always say somebody hitting a 3 or somebody taking a charge are probably the most energetic plays in the game of basketball. And we did a great job. Michaela was able to take 5 of them and still live to tell about it, so that was good. But that's a huge stat. And we were able to do similar at Harvard. We were able to take some charges. So those are possessions that we're able to take away from the opponent's offense, which is a lot of fun. So then we go to Harvard, and I mentioned this, I'm sure I mentioned this last Coffee with Carlsen. There's not a team on our non-conference schedule that we're going to be able to just show up and not have our A game and beat. It's just not constructed like that. And we know every team on our non-conference schedule is going to challenge us in different ways. Harvard, very different team than Illinois State. They're really long. They shoot the 3 really well. They don't have a true back-to-the-basket power player. And I think especially in the first half, we really saw that. I think their length bothered us. Again, things that we can't simulate necessarily in practice, we have to be able to get a feel for and adjust early in a game. And not that we didn't adjust, but the ball didn't go in the basket great in the first half, and so then you're playing from behind, and that provides a whole different issue. But I have to give a lot of credit to Harvard. I thought our kids were prepared as much as we could prepare them. I think they went out and played hard. But at the end of the day, there was some things there that Harvard did that were new for us, things that we can learn from. I think this will be a great film for us to go back and show the players some of those things that, again, aren't things that we necessarily have simulated in practice. We got out-rebounded by 2, which anytime we get out-rebounded, that's going to be a critical statistic because I don't think there's anybody we should get out-rebounded by. We turned it over too many times. And again, I think that's something that we're going to take a lot of pride in this year, knowing that was a huge step forward for us from last year. But we gave the ball away too many times. Those are 2 things statistically that I think we have to clean up. The bright spot, Shelby did end up with 23, 8 rebounds and 4 assists. So again, really filled the stat sheet. In the second half, when we knew our best option was to put her in positions to try and score the basketball, I thought she really was able to do that. Again, the unfortunate thing is we played from behind pretty much the entire game. But it was a great trip. Boston is beautiful. The weather was beautiful. We had a great travel situation. So, again, all things considered, it's definitely something that we can learn from. When I look at the upcoming schedule, before we get an opportunity to get back together in December, we have 2 really big home games coming up, which are super exciting. On Monday, we get a chance to play Bradley. Bradley was a team that went to the NCAA tournament last year. And again, will challenge us in a lot of different ways. That will be Military and Everyday Hero Appreciation Night. So that will be exciting as we get to welcome some of those community people that are critical as far as everyday heroes. And then the following Sunday, which is the Sunday after Thanksgiving, Milwaukee will be here. Again, a team that went to the postseason last year. I think they're picked second in the Horizon and are expected to have a great year. So both of those teams will be great challenges for us. But really exciting, obviously, to be at home. Then we get a chance to go to Western Illinois and take part in the Compass Challenge. We've talked a lot about that. That's been something the last 4 years that has been really exciting for each institution and also for its fan bases. Putting Western, Southern, Northern, and Eastern all at one place and kind of play for that state championship, we like to call it, and a trophy that travels, has been a great addition to our non-conference schedule. The trophy is here. We would like to keep it here. I suppose we'll have to take it to Western with us, but then we can bring it back. So that will be a lot of fun in Macomb. And then the last game before we get a chance to be back together will be at Drake. Again, anybody who follows women's basketball knows that Drake's program has been very, very successful, especially in recent history. So that'll be a challenge as we go to Drake. That will round out the upcoming schedule until we get a chance to get back together. I always give you guys a little bit of an injury update because I think it's special. Not that I would like it to be blank. Paulina is still kind of working through some back issues, so that is what it is, and we're going to get a chance to hear from her in a little bit. Actually late because she was just coming from a PT appointment, so we're excited that you got there. Grace, we've been without Grace for the last couple games. She is on the mend. I don't expect it to be too much longer, but again, that's somebody we would love to get back in the rotation and back on the floor just because, she's kind of our energizer bunny, a kid that goes 100% all the time. So we're excited that she is on the right track to getting back to the floor. Other than that, it's just a little bit of bumps and bruises, nothing that they can't handle on the day-to-day, and we expect to have a great week of practice in preparation for Monday's game against Bradley. Before I bring the players up and we talk a little bit about them, I was thinking as I put my notes together, it's Thanksgiving month, and I think it's a great opportunity to really sit back and reflect a little bit on the things that we are most thankful for. And when I stand up here in front of you, I listed 5 things that I'm going to talk a little bit about. And the first one is really just the thankfulness I have to be at NIU. I'm surrounded by great coaches in this department, and we see the wins on the field of play, and you guys see that, and that's all part of it, absolutely. But I think it's that they're truly great people, and they're able to impact young people's lives every single day. And when you can feel that within the department with other people who want what you want, and it's more than just winning, although the winning has obviously followed great character, I think that's something pretty special and something that you definitely want to be a part of. I think also part of that is the great support that we have from our administration, and in particular our program administrator. It gives me an opportunity to stand up here and really thank Deborah for everything that she does, not just for women's basketball. She has the opportunity to oversee softball as well. But she's somebody who would do anything in her power to make the experience for our young people the best possible. And I don't know if it's like that everywhere. I don't want to go anywhere else and find out, but I know it's like that here. So that's number one. The second thing that I'm really thankful, and I've had a lot of time to reflect on this also, is really the thankfulness for our true fans. And by true fans, I mean those that support us in everything that we do. They support our initiatives that are outside of basketball, whether that's in the community, whether that's the things that are really important to our student athletes. It's about the experience that they have here. And I always go back to it. I say, we're going to do everything we can to win ball games, no doubt about it. But when I see the development of our players and the fans that support them the whole time they're here, that's something to be really thankful for. And I have felt that ever since I've been here. So thank you guys, because you sit here as a product of that. The third thing is really just the thankfulness to lead this program. To get up every morning, and I've said this in different arenas, and not go to a job, but go to a vocation that's something that you're super passionate about. Not everybody gets to do that. We get to be mentors. We get to be a shoulder to cry on sometimes, a voice of reason sometimes, but really to see the growth that we're able to help these players through for 4 years, help them graduate, help them to see what the future looks like after the ball stops bouncing. There's not anything in the world I would rather do. Sometimes coming home after a loss, you lose perspective on that a little bit, and then you wake up the next day and you're like, listen, this is bigger than just this. And I'm super, super thankful for that. The next thing is I'm really thankful for my staff. My staff is all in very different places in their career. For some of us, we've been doing this a very long time. For some of us, we're just getting into the business. But the one thing that is true throughout my entire staff is there's no one who doesn't want what I want, what Deborah wants, what Sean wants, as far as influencing young people and passionate about the program. And those things are really special. That's like a second family to me. And again, my family is super important to me, and they know that. but my staff is able to fall in line with the things that are really important for our young people. And I'm really excited to have them around all the time. I hope they would say that about me, but whatever. Yeah. And lastly, obviously, I'm super thankful for the players. This is a group that is really fun to coach for a lot of reasons. I think they play the game the right way. I think they play the game for each other. And we've worked really hard at trying to talk about all the things that make them great teammates to each other. I think the buy-in is there. I think the talent is there. And again, those things are going to equate to wins, and that's great. But they're fun to go to practice with every day. There's not a day where I'm like, oh, I can't, I don't want to deal with, this player's attitude or whatever. It's just not like that. It's really exciting to prepare a practice plan and know that there's going to be 12, 13, 14 players there that are going to be hungry to get better and to get better together. So those are my 5 things that I'm really thankful for. So that's a great introduction to the 3 young ladies that we have here today that get to fall in and do some Q&A. So you guys come on up here. Some new faces, some not so new faces. All right, so I'm going to have them start by introducing themselves. They're going to talk about how old they are, where they come from. And really, I want them to talk a little bit about their major and what that looks like in preparation for when they leave here with that degree, because I think that's always interesting as well. So. I don't know, we'll see.
Hello. Okay. I'm Paulina Castro. I'm a 6th year senior. I have my undergrad in kinesiology, and I'm getting my master's right now in sports management. And I would like to coach using my sports management degree.
Hi, my name is Brooke Stonebreaker. I'm a sophomore from Brookdale, Ohio. And my major is visual communications or graphic design, and I would like to incorporate sports with that somehow, but I'm not quite sure what that is yet.
Hi, I'm Laura Nickel. I'm a freshman from Marshall, Wisconsin. My major is health science, and after I get that degree, I want to go on to physician assistant school.
All right, cool. So you guys can hang on to that. All right, Brooke, you got the microphone. You're going to go first. So, Brooke comes from a family full of college basketball players. So talk to us a little bit about what those connections are like.
Yeah, so my mom played basketball at Bowling Green.
Boo. I mean, great.
And then her 2 sisters also played college basketball. One went to West Liberty in West Virginia, and one went to Dayton in Ohio. So every one of those has influenced me a lot. And I grew up going to their games and as a little kid and being influenced by them. So they've just been my biggest influences in the game.
Cool. Who are you handing it to? All right, Laura. What are some of the factors that made you decide to come to NIU?
I think the biggest factor on why I decided to come here was the great relationships I made with all the coaches and the players. I got to hang out with the team, which was really cool, and they made me feel like I fit in right away. And I wanted to be a part of the culture here. I really like that. And it's close to home. I'm about an hour and a half away.
All right, P. This is your 6th year at NIU. What are some of the areas that you think you've really seen change in this program?
I would say culturally, we've spent a lot of time. I think it's always been an emphasis, but I think what I've seen change the most is the intentional piece of it. We talk about it every single day, and we're extremely intentional to live by our standards and our core values. We have cultural talks every single week, and then even after practice every single day, we talk about how we implemented our core values into that practice and how we saw teammates do things that abide by our team standards. And then I would also say we've also spent a lot of time learning to be like proactive and take care of our bodies. So coach has invested a lot in SES, like our knee prevention stuff, water and food logs. We see a sports psychologist like once every month or 2 months. And Whoop bands. So we're really proactive on that stuff.
Good. All right, Brooke. What area do you think that you've grown the most in from last year as a freshman to this year as a second-year player?
I think adapting to the physicality of the game is big. In high school, I went from being one of the biggest players on the court always to not being always the biggest player on the court. So just adapting to that. And then also vocally has been a good thing for me, especially in practice. Getting to know the players my first year was a challenge for me. And probably getting to know me was probably a challenge too, because I'm a pretty quiet person when you first get to meet me. Vocally on the court and in practice, and it's made practice a lot better and more fun. So.
All right, Laura, what has been the most challenging adjustment for you coming in as a freshman?
I'd say the most challenging thing was time management. It's definitely hard balancing everything with basketball and school and classes, but there's been so many people here helping me adjust, and once I got the rhythm of things, it's gotten a lot easier.
Oh, that's good. All right, Paulina, you're a second-year captain. What's the most challenging and the most rewarding part of having that title?
Challenging would be, just like having a hard conversation with a teammate about like not living up to the standard or breaking a rule or stuff like that. Like that's never fun. So I would say that can be hard. Rewarding, I would say, is seeing the growth culturally and then also seeing the growth on the court and just knowing that my teammates trust me to vote me to be in this position. So I think that's really rewarding.
Brooke, who's the funniest person on the team and why?
They're all funny. I love them all every single day, but one who makes me laugh all the time is Jaden. She doesn't even mean to be funny sometimes. She makes me laugh every single day.
You have to listen carefully, though. She's soft-spoken, funny. Laura, what are you most looking forward to this season?
I'm most looking forward to just playing with this team. I've learned so much from everyone here, and looking forward to contributing and playing my role, and just competing for a MAC championship with this team.
Oh, I love that lead-in. Thanks. I appreciate that. P, your last question is, why do you think, and we've talked a lot about this, why do you think this team has a chance to win a title?
I think this team is special. I think every single person on the team has a different piece that adds to the value of the team. And we return a lot of people. I think last year we got a good glimpse of how special we could be. And I'm pretty confident in the fact that every single day we are getting better. Even after a loss, we're getting better. Today we will get better. So I just feel like because we are so intentional about getting better every single day, that we can really just put it together and do something special.
I'll take it. You guys are done.
Sorry.
Let's give them a round of applause. All right. I also get the honor of introducing our first head coach speaker. Eric Burns has been here 3 years, I think. Right, Coach? Yeah. That sound right? I know that he's super excited about his team, and we've seen huge growth in women's tennis. So he's going to talk a little bit about what's going on in his sport.
Yeah, thanks for having me today. Appreciate the opportunity to come out and speak about our women's tennis team. We have a lot of momentum going on right now. Starting my third year. First year was the COVID year, so maybe it's 2.5 that I've been here, really. We didn't get MAC play that first year, but we're coming off a season where we finished nearly 500, broke a 17-match losing streak in the MAC, ended up finishing 5th, but got 6 wins, which was a real breakthrough for our program. And then we added some really nice pieces to the puzzle this year with 3 really solid freshmen that have come in and done a great job for us here in the fall. So we're really a work in progress still, but we're getting there. We're getting to where we need to be to compete and have a chance to win a championship in this conference. We had a nice fall, played 4 tournaments, had a couple of players win championships, won at our own home tournament that we hosted late in October, so that was a good breakthrough for her. Had a really nice tournament at Drake to finish up the fall, where we won, I think, 17 out of 18 singles matches in the tournament. So it was a really great way to finish up our fall. And now we're just finishing up here the last couple of weeks before Thanksgiving, and then we'll be off the week before finals and the week of finals, and then out here for the break and back at it in January to get ready for our dual match season. But this team has a lot of potential. And it's just really a matter of time before we get to where we need to be. We've got, like I said, those 3 freshmen that have come in that will likely be in our lineup right away. So we'll be looking at a lineup of probably 2 sophomores and 3 freshmen, and then probably a senior battling in there. So we've got a lot of depth, and we've got a lot of young players, and this season will be really important. We play a huge schedule. Should give them lots of opportunities to get experience to really improve their games. We play a tough schedule. I mean, we're hosting Wisconsin, which is a big match for us right here in the Chick Evans. We're doing some things there, trying to improve that facility. So we're really excited to have a Big Ten team coming in. We start out the season at Illinois with them in Eastern Illinois. We've got Notre Dame on the schedule. So we're really challenging ourselves because we know that's where we need to go to get to where we want to be, playing the best competition around. That's going to make us better. So we're really excited. We had 5 signees this time, the early signing. Really excited about some of the players we have coming in. We lose 5 seniors this year and 1 here mid-year, but that graduates early, and then 4 in the spring. But very excited about the people we have coming in and what they can bring to our culture. We're trying to get this program to one that's always working hard, that goes above and beyond on and off the court, and really represents NIU in a really positive way. And I think this is a team you can be proud of. We've got some girls that are really doing well in the classroom and really putting their best foot forward on the practice courts and when it's game day. So we're really excited about where we're going, and once again, appreciate the opportunity to be here, and thanks for letting me talk a little bit about tennis here. Thanks.
Next, we'll have Kim Kester come up and talk a little bit about women's golf. Kim's in her 10th season, I believe, at NIU, and it really put NIU golf on the map, not just in the MAC, but on the national level, coming off a 2nd place finish last year, MAC Coach of the Year. So I know she's super excited to get going as well. Kim?
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Yeah, we had a great year last year. Everyone talks COVID. COVID actually kind of helped us last year. We're usually a fall and spring sport. Last year we were only spring, so fall was more laid back. Girls could get in the routine of things, and came spring they were ready to go. And we were 80-15 last year, finished 2nd, like Lisa said. And this year we've had a decent fall to start. We have had 4 events. The best one we took 3rd at Illinois State. But the highlight for our players was our Bahama trip that we just took. I've got a lot of people already saying, well, you went to the Bahamas? What the heck? And I'm like, yeah, we're an outdoor sport. We need to be somewhere warm. You can't play that great of golf up here this time of year. So we don't always look for events like the Bahamas, meaning that tropical. But it was a good experience for our players to see a different culture. For us, it's more than a golf tournament. It's getting to know the area you're at, but also playing good golf. And we've had the strongest competition this year that we've ever faced, which hopefully is going to set us up pretty well in the spring. We'll have 6 events, 3 new ones. We're going to head out to Long Beach State. Kennesaw is going to be a new one, and then SMU down in Texas. This fall, we've been led by Jasmine Lee. If anyone's followed us at all, you've probably heard her name every week. She was named MAC Golfer of the Week 3 times this year. She went to the USGA, USAM this past summer, and every event she's had a top 10 finish. So we've been kind of riding her. She's our horse right now. We just got to get everybody else contributing. MAC Championship looks great for us. If there's any year we could win it, it's right now. We've never had this much depth. Selfishly, I'm pushing probably harder this year than I've ever had because it's at my alma mater, Toledo. So I've always said there's no better writing than NIU winning at Toledo on their home turf. But Kent State has always been our biggest challenge. Last year at the MAC, we beat them the first round. We just got to do it all 3. And I know this group can do it, and we're really excited. And we appreciate everybody's support. And the sky's the limit for this team. They're super deep, and they're ready to go low and bring trophies back to NIU. So thanks, Lisa, for having me. Appreciate it.
I think I'll open it up to any questions that you might have, either for myself or for Kim or Eric, before we wrap things up. Does anybody have anything for me, for them? Ralph?
We will not. Long Beach took over that tournament, unfortunately. We haven't had great luck the past couple times in Arizona. We've been rained out, snowed out. Yeah, we got snowed out one day. So when we put together the schedule, I'm like, well, it doesn't snow in California, really. So a year off of Arizona this year. We hope to be back again, though.
Yeah, it was fun last year.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming out there. But yeah, that's a great event, but we hope to be back.
How many golfers do you have?
We have 10 on the roster, and we travel 5. So every round, as you play 5, we count the 4 lowest scores each round. Typically 3 rounds every time. 36 on one day, 18 now.
Steve?
I just had a question about Chick Evans. I heard you getting a 4th court or something? Or?
Yeah, we are looking to add a 4th court and kind of do some renovations there to get that kind of up to speed as far as the competition facility. So we can play our conference matches there, and our kids don't have to drive to Rockford and play indoors up there. So it'll be a big thing for us.
Is that going to be like big expansion to Chick Evans, or can you fit it in the?
Oh yeah, you can fit it in there. Yeah,
Okay.
you could probably even fit 5 if you really wanted to, but
Really?
4 is a lot more comfortable.
Gotcha.
Coach Burns, you got a young team that's really great. Any particular freshmen that you're really excited about?
Oh gosh, all 3 of them, but especially Reagan Welch from Tennessee. Sister's on the gymnastics team. She's doing a great job for us, working really hard. Just a perfect example of what we want for our kids. Then we've got Eric and Dimitri also doing a great job from Canada. Got a lot of upside. Tall player, lefty. Probably can play toward the top of our lineup right away. And did some during the fall, had some success. So it's always nice to have freshmen that come in and play toward the top of your lineup. So yeah, we're really excited about the whole team, honestly, this year.
All right, that's great. Yes.
Can you explain a little bit more about why they're kneeling?
Well, I would hope that most of you have seen the statement that we've put out in regards to our stance on the national anthem, and that really explains the whole thing. I will just say that I'm going to be, and I think administratively, really in support of our young people being able to use their platform to bring recognition to things that are going on in our country. And I think I talk about it in the short statement prior to the national anthem. I think our statement online explains more in detail what that looks like. And again, I understand that everybody has an opinion. I understand that everybody has a right to feel the way they do. Our players have a right to feel the way they do as well. So, anybody else? All right, cool. Deborah, raffle?
Raffle. Come on, you gotta come up here. The three, you come up here. Yeah, are you guys ready for raffle? Raffle time? Yes? All right, this one. Let's see. So Joni Prim decided not to come today, I heard, because she wants other people to win, right? She was a little under the weather. I don't want to joke about that, but that's what Roger told me. All right, 61017. 61017. Hey, Marcia did. All right. Number 2 in the starting lineup, 61022. 61022. Yay, ma'am. That's awesome. I think we have some smalls back there. Extra small. 61032. 61032. Hey, Maya Gross, I need some more NIU stuff. Good starting lineup. 5. Oh, excuse me. All right, 61029. So whoever came in before the Grossas. 61029. One more. All right, 61034. 61034. Who got that? Paul got it. Awesome. Very good. Very good. Well, thanks everybody for coming and supporting our team. I really like this new thing of bringing our student athletes up here. I think that's been a great enhancement. Next Coffee with Carlsen is on December 14th, so mark your calendars. We'll have gymnastics here talking about gymnastics. All right. Oh, thanks. Yeah, right. I know. That was a good one. All right. And happy Thanksgiving to you all. And we'll see you really, really soon. Okay. Go Huskies.